Welcome to the Leverage Hacker Podcast, a life-transforming podcast with your host, David Dom. Welcome to a world where the status quo is merely a starting point and conventionality a path left untraveled, a place where boundaries are pushed, minds are expanded, and new realities are shaped. We're all too familiar with the age-old paradigm of trading time for money. It's an arduous cycle that does more than just burn us out. It impacts our relationships, our health, our sense of fulfillment. It leaves our partners feeling neglected, our ambitions on the back burner, and our life just a series of monotonous transactions. But here's the game changer. With David, you'll learn how to play by new rules. Rules that challenge these norms, that maximize your efforts by applying leverage. You're not just working harder, you're working smarter. Welcome to the Leverage Hacker Podcast.
All right, David Dom here. I am starting a podcast for several reasons. One of which is that I actually enjoy talking and sharing, but getting the lighting right for videos all the time I'm just not feeling it. I also want to be able to just have a conversational type podcast where I can share ideas and it's not all overproduced and I don't have to worry about all that stuff because, again, just want to share ideas, want to get some points across, share kind of the journey. The other reason is that I feel confident in a brand now. I tried this out with something recently, and so now I've landed on being able to share with Leverage Hacker, which is the brand, and I've started a Leverage Hacker University, and so far just have free trainings in there. So this will go right along with it, and I just want to be able to share ideas and thoughts because here's what's happening right now. It feels like a veil has been lifted, and oddly enough, I think it may have something to do with around November, December of last year, ChatGPT being launched. And I know that might sound trite, but it's not. It's actually quite fascinating and extremely helpful in regards. Just imagine like a virtual assistant, if you've ever had one. It's just an assistant period, that has helped you, that you pay somebody to be your secretary or your personal assistant. This is literally an assistant that you have, but it's also an assistant that has access to almost any information that you could think of. And so your creativity now, our creativity as creators and somebody that wants to, build things or make things or, just quite frankly, have some freedom and be free from having to do things like go to a job and punch a clock and answer to others, but yet can build our own thing, right? It's a brand new world, and it's very exciting, very exciting. So Leverage Hacker University is, again, going to be something I'm going to continue to build upon. But the whole idea about this Leverage Hacker brand is that, it covers a lot of different things. It's not just one thing, meaning you can apply leverage to any area of your life. And it's been a constant theme for me. And then I was listening to a podcast, not even a podcast, it was an audiobook actually, and started learning how much of a core principle and foundational thing that Naval Ravikant actually believes is leverage. And it's crazy because I created the brand Leverage Hacker, ordered a couple of hats. I'm going to have, some merchandise, and started working toward this, and then listened to his book. And I'm like, wow. So the two most important types of leverage that he mentioned, which is lining up with what's going on in the world today, and this was recorded a little while ago, is that code. If you can code and create programs, right, for others to use, you create it once and millions of people could use it potentially. And then media. And of course, media is literally enabled me to create an annual average American income equivalent within about 4 months, just doing a little Amazon side hustle that turned into something that's covering all my bills Now I can, be freed up and creative to do whatever else I want. And I am doing some other things. And so I'm going to share a lot of things through the podcast that it's interesting, because the only way you would be able to get the information that's going to be on the podcast is if you were kind of right here with me going along. That's what I want to do. It's time now to do that. I mean, documenting and kind of cataloging the journey is what it's all about. There's this whole idea about failing in public, or building in public, right? And I say failing in public because that's even harder. But when you fail, everything breaks. And when you fail, it's just feedback. And feedback is neutral. So you just continue to push forward. And so I'm going to share some of my thoughts, some of my ideas, kind of obviously how I've ended up where I am today, what's going on. Maybe I'll do a little backstory. But the whole concept and idea is for me to be able to share things with you that I feel could be helpful. And I say this because I'll share real briefly, but the one opportunity that created this income for me and covered all my bills, I'm getting my daughters involved, my brother, my girlfriend, other family members, my niece, and I'm helping them because anybody could do this, and an extra $1,000 a month sometimes really makes a huge difference to people depending on where they are, right? And you could create that. And I know how challenging it is because I've actually done it. And I've been in a situation before where, it was so tight that $250. I mean, I've spent hundreds of dollars on courses about this one Amazon program. And there have been moments where I didn't have hundreds of dollars to spend. Not too long ago. As a matter of fact, I'll just throw that out there. I mean, literally a couple of years ago, I was delivering food locally here in the town I grew up in, where I landed, and ended up scoring a really nice live-work space. And now, I'm not doing that anymore. But I did it because it was possible. It was possible to do. And it was basically what I had to do at the time. So now things are very different, in a very, very short time. I literally started in February, I guess, at the very end of February or March of 2023. And within 4 months, now created something where I don't have to worry. I don't have to be concerned about money. I don't, as far as just all the bills, they're covered. That's freedom. And I've really been working toward that probably my whole life. So anyway, it's kind of an intro episode. Might use this, might not, but I am going to be sharing lots here with you, and I appreciate you. Subscribe if that's, what you could do to the podcast, wherever it shows up. I appreciate you and look forward to taking you on the journey. Peace.
As we close this vibrant chapter of the Leverage Hacker podcast, remember, you're the author of your own life story. The struggles, the triumphs, they're all yours to claim. It's time to step back into your world, but with a transformed outlook. Remember, the matrix is an illusion. The true power resides in you. Go out there, live life on your terms, and continue to color outside the lines. Until next time.